I love waking up to sunny days. Everything just looks so bright, and I just love seeing the sun shining. I feel like I have better days on sunny days. I know we have to have rainy days and cloudy days too, though, because if we didn't, then nothing would grow. I'm thankful for sunny and cloudy days, but I love seeing the sun shine. God, guide me through every day. Let me be aware of your presence and your guidance. Help me to accept your way because it is better than mine. Remind me to just thank you for every situation because my weaknesses make me strong and my strength is in you. So I have these journals that I wrote from 2014 to 2016, which were probably some of the hardest times of my life. And then at the beginning, so this was in 2014, on the very first page I wrote, "Help me and guide me," which is Psalm 25:5. And since then, I have said that every single day. And I wrote, "Everyone has a struggle and everyone has a story, and this is mine." So I've struggled with the word love for a very long time. In this book, I talked about I would never call it being gay. I would simply call it my weakness. For years and years, I have called it my weakness. It took me until I went to counseling to be able to comfortably say the words, "I'm gay." Before that, it was just pain and anger. And that's what I would do. I would call it my weakness, but it's not my weakness anymore. It's just a part of me, and it's who I am. And probably what a lot of people don't understand is when you come out, the first step of coming out is coming out to yourself first. You have to learn to love yourself, and I did not love myself for a very long time, and that it put a lot of negative thoughts inside my head. I really hated myself and was not happy with who I was, and I thought that because I was different and because I had these weaknesses, because I was gay, I didn't deserve to live. And so I would be driving back from school, and in college, and there would just be this road, and it went off. It was a hill, and I would just pass there, and I would think numerous times, if I would just go down that hill, I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. It would just be over. But then I would feel guilty about having those thoughts, and I would think about my family and how much that would disappoint them. So on November 6th, 2014, I was having a really, really bad day, and I knew there was a gun in the other room. And I knew I had a choice to make that night because I didn't want to live anymore. I was tired of it. I was tired of having to constantly be at a battle with myself every single day of whether to be a Christian or to be gay. Because in my mind at the time, I couldn't be both. It just wasn't a possibility in my mind. And I was having to choose between life and death. And I was by myself in this room, and I knew there was a gun over there. And I almost went and got it, but I got my Bible instead. And I immediately flipped to Romans, because Romans is one of my favorite books of the Bible. And I immediately flipped to Romans 9:20. And when I flipped to that section, it talked about, it said, "Why do you question God? Why do you question the potter and what he creates?" And for me, that night, that was the night that saved me, was reading that verse and knowing that God created me who I am, and I wasn't going to go to hell for it. God showed me that night that I was meant to be here, and I and I have a purpose. And just reading those words, and I literally just wrote, but my heart just feels so heavy. I didn't know what to do. All I could do was just hang my head and ask God, why is this my struggle? Why is this me? Why do I have to feel this every day and I can't even talk to anyone about it? I went through Romans because it's my favorite book out of the Bible. Romans 9:20, but who are you, a human being, to talk back to God? Shall what is formed say to the one who formed it, why did you make me like this? Does not the potter have the right to make out of the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use? What I go through every day is a struggle. It's very hard and no one can understand it. That's why I just talk to God about it. He knows everything about me. God has a special purpose for me, and everything happens for a reason. And I just have to have faith in God. That was the first day that I actually started to love myself and accept myself. And I chose that day to stop calling it my weakness and my struggle. And it was then that I started to love myself. Okay. Dear Clint, I don't even know where to begin to let you know how thankful I am for you. When I first told you I was gay, the reaction you gave was not what I was expecting, but it is what I wish for every LGBTQ person. You just started smiling so big, and you just grabbed me and hugged me. It was a moment I will never forget, and I don't think you will ever understand how much that meant to me. You're a huge LGBTQ ally and supporter, and I get to call you my brother. You just love me for who I am, and I have always looked up to you. You always look out for others, and that is something I admire about you. I know that I can always trust you. I will never, ever be able to tell you how thankful I am for you.
Thanks. That's very sweet. Well, I tried to be there for you, but it was easy.
But, like, that moment where, like, I had to, like, I told you, and you smiled, and that was not the reaction that I thought I was going to get. I just thought you were just kind of going to be like, okay. But, like, you were seriously happy for me and thrilled for me. And then you just gave me the biggest hug. Like, I had just given you the best news. And not everyone that comes out gets that reaction. So that's why, like, I just don't think you will fully understand, like, how much that moment meant to me. And it's like, I won't ever forget it. And I just hope any person that's, you know, having to come out gets, you know, the same happy and joyful reaction.
Good. Love you.
Love you. Dear Bethany, we have so much fun together, and you're one of my favorite people to be around. Coming out to you was so difficult because I knew you would be accepting, but I was still so scared of how you would react because I thought if she does get upset, I will be losing one of my favorite people. You were happy for me, though. You're an amazing person, an incredible mother, and you gave me Noel, my favorite little blessing. You have always composed yourself with such grace no matter the situation you're in. I love that you love people. You have been so loving and so accepting of me. Some people aren't blessed with such an amazing support system. Thank you for being you, and thank you for always being there for me.
Of course. You know I love you. I'm just trying not to cry. You know I love you, and I would do anything for you, and I'm just so proud of you. Because I waited a long I waited a long time for you to tell me that and trust me. And I mean, I know you did, and I know it's such a difficult thing, and I wanted you to get there on your own. But, you know, when someone decides to fully be themselves, it's just, I'm so proud.
And you don't know this because I haven't told like a lot of people this, but a couple of years ago, I almost killed myself. And it's still very hard to talk about. And I just thought if I
So sorry.
like if I would have done it, how much I would have missed out on. And I just felt like I was at a battle between myself of having to choose between being gay or being a Christian. And then, you know, one night it finally hit me where I decided to accept myself and love myself. And I started
so grateful for that.
And I started going to counseling. And it was something that I was doing by myself. And just seeing your reaction when I told you and your reaction now makes me wish I would have told you sooner.
I wish you would have told me sooner, but I'm so glad that we're here now, and that, you know, I hope that now that you're in this position that you can really, really start enjoying who you are.
Yeah.
And I wrote you a little poem because I'm a cheeseball. I'm not a poet, but I'm a ball of cheese. So, okay. So it just goes, stay true to you. It's the most you can do for not only yourself, but for those you love too. Because when you are happy and when you are free to be who you were meant to be, your life will change in the very best way, and you will find joy when you wake up each day. And that joy that you feel will grow and grow, and you will flourish more than you know. Seeing you thrive and seeing you smile for those that love you is all that's worthwhile. So thanks for your courage and standing to say, I'm going to be who I'm meant to be today. It's not always easy, but it means everything to me to see you being who you were truly meant to be.
That was really good.
Why are you so surprised?
That was so good.
I love
Like,
you.
that should be published. Like, I'm glad people get to hear that. Like, I'm glad you decided to share that. And because I want, like, other people to see, like, that I have a support system, because that wasn't something that, like, I thought I would have.
But you do. We're all here for you. We love you so much, and we'll always support you no matter what.
I love you. And I'm so thankful for you. Like, I don't know if you will fully comprehend how blessed I am that you accept me and love me.
Well, we're blessed to have you. We're all blessed to have each other. We will always have each other, no matter what.
I was scared to come out because I wasn't sure how my family would react to it. And I didn't want to do anything where I would disappoint them or where I would lose them for good. I almost took my life because I felt like I had a decision between religion and being gay. And, you know, religion has got to stop killing people. There are so many LGBTQ people who take their lives because of religion, or they're scared they're going to disappoint their family or friends. And it's, you know, LGBTQ suicide rates aren't talked about enough, and those are hard conversations that we have to start having because those lives matter too. Losing my aunt was probably the hardest thing that I've had to go through. So my aunt was pretty much one of my best friends, and she passed away from cancer. Probably around the time I was born, I don't remember, like 1992 maybe. Her and her best friend started a school for children with special needs. And I was just the person that she was. And then she passed away 2 months before I graduated. And so they had called in hospice in March. And so I went and I went ahead and I put on my cap and gown. And I went into her room and she couldn't say anything, but she just started crying. So I knew that she was proud of me, even though she couldn't express that. I could just tell. So that was one of the last moments that I had with her. So she passed away before I graduated, but she knew I graduated. I mean, it's been a couple of years now, but it's still pretty hard, especially since she didn't 100% know who I was. And I've always struggled with that because I didn't know how she would react to it. But if she were here, then obviously I would tell her that I was gay. I felt like it was important to finally say this out loud to you because I never got the chance to. It's important to me because I've been carrying it around. And I just decided to go ahead and come here and say it out loud and get it off my chest. Because I never got to tell you in person. But I know she loved me and she would have accepted me. I still miss her every single day. So I wanted to make sure that I was really ready before I made a video and publicly came out. But it's also okay to have that fear of coming out. It's okay to be scared. There is no right or wrong way of coming out. For me, doing a video has just been on my heart for a very, very long time. So for me personally, I felt like I wanted to make a video because I wanted to help other people who might be in my situation where they feel like they're also having to choose between life and death. And I wanted to let them know that they're not alone and that they have a story that deserves to be shared and to be told. And that this is just a little bit of my story, and then this is just a little bit of how I felt like I wanted to share my story with everyone was through a video. But people come out every day in different ways, and there's no wrong way to do it as long as you love yourself and accept yourself. That's the way to come out. Got me crying.
Why are you crying?
Because I just love you a lot.
I love you too.
And I don't think you know how much it means to me that you're even sitting here. Because I just know this has been really hard for you. And I've just always, my biggest fear has always been disappointing you or embarrassing you. And I just never wanted to do any of those things. I wrote you a letter. I don't even know what to write because I have so much I could say about you. I just start crying because you mean so much to me. You're the strongest person I know. And my biggest fear has always been upsetting you or disappointing you. I don't want you to be embarrassed of me. You're the person I look up to the most. And I don't want you to think you have ever failed as a mother because of me. And it's the complete opposite. You have taught me to love with everything that I have and that family comes first. I have seen you help others when you didn't have the means yourself. I have seen you drop everything for your kids and your loved ones. I thank God every day that you're my mom. You have showed me real strength and real love. And I love you.
I love you too. But let me ask you this. How many times have I embarrassed you in my life? Or your life?
A lot.
A lot. That's right. And I love you no matter what. You can never disappoint me. I love you.
So just the kind of person my mom is. So ever since I was little, I've eaten the cherries off her milkshakes. Up until college, I guess? I would always eat the cherries off her milkshakes. And so then one day I was like, how come you don't like cherries? And she was like, I do like cherries, but you like them more. So she would always give me her cherries. And that's just the kind of person you are, though. And I don't think, people tell you that enough just because of everything that you've been through. And that you still always put us first and you never put yourself first. And I just love you.
And I love you. And as a parent, we always want to put our children first. And as a parent, we always wondered, did we do enough? And we always feel like, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have been a better parent. And that's one thing I always wanted to be for y'all, was a good parent, and for y'all to know how much I love y'all. And that no matter what, I'm going to be here for y'all.
I've learned a lot from you and just how you put, I've literally seen you give to people when you didn't even have it yourself, and you would just help people in any way that you can. And I've watched that growing up, and I've learned from you to help others in any way that you can. I'm just very thankful for you and that you love me and accept me. And I don't know what I would do without you.
Well, I'm just thankful that you're my daughter.
I love you.
I love you too.
I would tell my younger self that it's okay to be who you are. And you're gonna have struggles and weaknesses, but that's okay. You'll just learn from those. And there's gonna be pain, but you'll grow from it. And that one day you will be able to be who you are and to get married and go to a church that accepts for who you are, that those things are possible. That you just have to trust the process and learn from it and grow from it. I was in counseling one day, and I told my counselor, I said, I don't want to disappoint my family. I feel like it would just be easiest if I just never come out and I'm just, single for the rest of my life. And she said, is that what you really want? And I said, no, that's not what I want. And she said, okay, then, you've made your decision. I never thought I would be in a position where I was able to come out. Growing up, gay marriage was illegal and you weren't even able to get married. So I never saw myself in a relationship or getting engaged or married. I never thought that was something that would be possible. So I never even considered it. I never thought about it. Until I started going to counseling. Going forward, now I can be myself and I can start to feel comfortable in my body and knowing that it's still okay and that I'm still going to come across negative people. But it's just the fact that, that's okay. There's always going to be negative people. But to focus on the positive and how much I have really been blessed with and that I've made it this far because I didn't know if I would make it this far. And the fact that I did, now I can go on and, help other people and to just live my life, the way that God intended, just loving myself and being my true self. You don't stop coming out from the moment you realize it about yourself. It's just a continuance that's just going to continue to happen, whether it's family or friends or workplace or new people you meet, new churches that you attend. There's always going to be that coming out process where you have to feel comfortable saying the words, I'm gay. And it took me a really long time to be able to accept that part of myself. And I just want other people to be able to accept that part of themselves as well. You're not weird. You're not abnormal. That's just who you are, and it's a part of you. Even though there are things on social media that will say differently. There's churches that will say differently. But you are loved, and you are cared for. And you do have a purpose, whether you don't believe that or not. I believe that God has a special purpose for everyone, despite what you go through. And I think every story will help someone in need. So that's what I'm hoping my story will do, will be to help others.